Africa makes the semi-final always, doesn't it?
He was the first nigga.
Said men away from the game. There's a
I'm a real hater like that.
You guys are gonna ride Messi, but like guys, the man can only do so much.
Yo, my brothers, my sisters, and my ballers, welcome back to another match day of What's Football with our fans, with your favorite social football analyst, Tepiso PT, aka Tebzoro. To the ballers passing by, I hope you like what you see, because I surely like what I do. And make sure to join the returning ballers who continue to show me gang love and appreciation by liking, commenting, as well as to subscribe. So Chelsea's title hopes ended as soon as they started. Just over a month ago, little over a month ago in December, Chelsea fans started to feel that they're in the title race but wanted to keep it on the low, even though we couldn't hide the excitement. And just a month later, after one win in 7 games, we are totally out of it, with us now looking up the table and seeing Man City back on top of us, as well as Newcastle and Nottingham Forest. Who would have thought we would have been in this position right now? Having a relatively easy set of fixtures, if we may say, facing a lot of the mid-table and bottom half teams between the Boxing Day fixture as up until the last weekend of January. Chelsea just couldn't get a win. Chelsea just really couldn't get a win, whether it was down to Enzo Maresca's changes or having the creativity needed but not being able to put it in the back of the net. The wins weren't coming. And the most painful part about those matches is that in a lot of the matches, Chelsea would take the lead. Chelsea would take the lead but just wouldn't be able to capitalize on the advantage that they'd gained. Now, progress has been made. At this stage last season, we were 9 points off. It's just that it feels so painful right now with seeing where we were mid-December. Just behind Liverpool. Liverpool hadn't dropped points, with having draws against Newcastle and Fulham, having their game postponed against Everton, whilst Chelsea just kept on winning. Late November, early December, Chelsea just kept on winning. Anything that came in our way was 3 points. Whether it was a low-scoring affair or a high-scoring affair, just like against Tottenham Hotspurs, 3 points were collected, to the point where Chelsea fans started to think maybe we could be in this so-called title race, which a lot of the players were toning down, including the manager, and they were just looking at the next game with getting 3 points. I was also in that boat, but I couldn't keep myself from thinking, yeah, we could maybe be in it. But those are just the vibes of the Premier League. Came stuck by Everton at Goodison Park, which has always been a team that has been tough to beat for Chelsea. I've always said, as a Chelsea supporter, 2 stadiums out of the relatively lower big teams, if I may call them, or the lower teams, where I can take a point as it kind of feels like a win. It's Goodison Park and St. James's Park, up against Everton and Newcastle. 0-0 draw against Everton, where we just weren't clinical. But to be fair, Everton also had their chances, and a certain Robert Sanchez, who I'll speak on later, made good saves in that game. And then Boxing Day came, New Year's came, and more with us not getting a win. Looking at our team and looking at the signings that we made and how Maresca has fared so far, he's done relatively well. We've competed in every game we've been in, and an identity has been shown by our team. You know, from the moment Sancho came in to the team in the match against Bournemouth away, Chelsea just woke up. Something just changed. Got a win against Bournemouth September. Brighton came to visit Stamford Bridge. We beat them with Cole Palmer scoring 4 goals. Anything that just stepped in our way, we had the creativity of Sancho, Palmer. Caicedo was playing well with Enzo in the midfield, as well as when forming partnership with Lavia, who I duly miss and who I wish could just have injuries away from him, because he really helps us to play in the manner in which we want to play. We went over to the London Stadium, beat West Ham 3-0 with Nicholas Jackson scoring the types of goals that you wouldn't associate with him. Forest came, it was a good 1-1 draw. We had Newcastle. Things just felt well, we're going in the right direction. The centre-back partnership had been formed between Wesley Fofana and Levi Colwill. Kukurea was performing brilliantly, who undoubtedly this season has put in great performances which warrant his place in the Spanish national team. Like, he has literally been a mainstay for Chelsea, playing in that inverted left back position, which he helps to form the midfield four, which we form in having 3 defenders, 4 midfielders, and then our 3 attackers. Then the big fixtures came along for Enzo Maresca. We all wondered how would we do, and to be honest, we fared pretty well in them. Lost 2-1 against Liverpool with Curtis Jones having a brilliant performance, but you could see Chelsea was in that game throughout the whole 90 minutes. We definitely gave them a test, with Arne Slot saying we've been the toughest team that Liverpool has faced this season. Newcastle visited Stamford Bridge with Cole Palmer producing brilliance in creating Nicholas Jackson's goal with one of the passes of the season before scoring the winner. We went to face a low in confidence Manchester United with Ruud van Nistelrooy being the caretaker manager. Only came back with a point. And then against Arsenal at home, we also only took away a point. If there's one thing that you've seen from Chelsea against the bigger teams, is that they lack that confidence and that belief, which can happen with the young squad which Chelsea has. There's just a sense of being cold, frozen feet when we play against the bigger teams. We're just not able to perform and impose ourselves in the way in which we'd like to. Now, the one thing that I like about Enzo Maresca is that Chelsea has gone off to many great starts. What he says in the change room before kickoff has translated into our performances a lot in the first 20-30 minutes of games, with Chelsea having the upper hand and being the better team. It was a different situation against Man City, where it only lasted for 15 minutes, with us getting a lucky break to get our first goal and not being able to put the next chance away, with Cole Palmer being on goal but choosing to play a heavy pass to Nicholas Jackson. Chelsea has frustrated me, but in all honesty, we've made progress. Look, we know we have a Robert Sanchez in the polls, but in all honesty, there's no goalkeeper who you trust for Chelsea. Jorgensen plays, he hasn't had a run of games, but he has looked good, but also looked shaky, which was shown in the last FA Cup match. Even if he gets a run of games, I just feel like he doesn't have that pedigree to be a Premier League goalkeeper for a top team. Kepa is away at Bournemouth doing relatively well, and Petrovic has also been loaned out. Robert Sanchez literally can't be the man if Chelsea want to challenge for titles. His distribution goes up and down, with him not being a great distributor in my opinion. And then, as much as he's had matches where he's produced good saves, there's always a mistake in him, as was shown yesterday for Haaland's goal. There's always a mistake in Robert Sanchez's game, which can kill Chelsea and help us lose points. We cannot trust him moving forward, and it's unfortunate to say a new keeper is needed, even though it feels like a new keeper is being signed every season for Chelsea Football Club. And then over on the other end, our number 9, Nicholas Jackson. Chelsea really need to look in the mirror and ask themselves and decide, how many more seasons do we need, or will it take us to be a genuine title contender? Because if it's not next season, which I don't think it is, maybe we can still live with Jackson, although he needs to put away the chances. He's on one of his worst spells at the club, going 7 games without a goal in the league, and you just can't rely, Enzo Maresca just can't rely on him anymore. You really can't rely on Jackson. We're creating the chances are there for him to put away, but the ball isn't ending up in the back of the net, and he still keeps faith in the same man, giving him all the game time needed. I was happy with seeing him chucked off early yesterday. I just wish it had happened more often in the previous games, or even have him benched and play Mark Guehi from the start, or be able to tell Christopher Nkunku to stay up top when he starts. As long as Nicholas Jackson puts his chances away, we are cool. Because he does have good link-up play, and he does work well with the ball in giving defenders a nightmare. But holding up the game, he isn't really that good, which was only seen once with a good situation, I guess, against Bournemouth, with providing the assist for Cole Palmer's goal. But the rest of it, you just don't know what to expect from Jackson. Against Palace, he should have had a hat-trick, if not 2 goals, with him just not being able to put chances away. The same happened against Bournemouth, with him missing sitters in the first half. There's nothing that you can control of this man. There really isn't anything. Our midfield is good. Our midfield, for me, has us saying we can push to challenge. With us knowing that Andre Santos will be back in the team next season, probably as a third option, with me calling Lavia a fourth option because of his injury record. But with Lavia fit, he's not even a fourth option. There's Caicedo, who has done well this season, as well as Enzo Fernandez, who since his breakup has just been amazing, to be honest. If we can truly criticize Enzo Fernandez, he's performed well for Chelsea. He's been great on the ball, and more so when he's formed the four-man midfield with having Lavia and Caicedo behind him, with him joining alongside Cole Palmer. He performs really well in that position, as was shown in the first half against Bournemouth, as well as in the game against Tottenham Hotspurs, more so in the second half. When he has that advanced role, you can see the Enzo Fernandez who's a creator and who's a good player with the ball. The fullbacks this season have played their part. Look, it's unfortunate that Reece James' injury record is bad, and we hope to see him fit for a long time. Malo Gusto just isn't someone who you can trust. Defensive injuries with Wesley Fofana. He's a miss for me because he's able to drive with the ball upfield as well as chase a man into the midfield, in being strong and having a physical approach and having the physical strength to challenge his striker. Look, Haaland bullied Colwell and bullied Chalobah, who I'll get into soon. Wesley Fofana wouldn't really get bullied like that, and it was a shame to see him get injured in the game against Aston Villa, which I feel was Chelsea's best performance this season, producing a 3-0 win at the Bridge, with Jackson scoring a great goal, which you'd not expect him to score, as well as Fernandez, and then Cole Palmer producing a moment of brilliance. Fofana has been a miss, and when Tosin has stepped in, it's taken him time to adapt. Look, it's good that Chelsea called back Chalobah, because in all honesty, he's better than Badiashile, even though Badiashile is out for a while. And he's also better than Disasi, who I'd like to see the back of with Chelsea. But defensive frailties, we're just not able to keep clean sheets. Whether playing at home nor away. Colwell is still young, and it's probably his first full season as a starter. You'd wish to expect more, but then with that pressure of him being his first season, he will grow into the role. The wingers this season, if there's one thing that I liked about Enzo Maresca, is that if someone does not perform, he wasn't scared to take you off at half time. Sancho felt that, Neto felt that, Madueke felt like he was the man in the team and got chucked off. And then he's won his place back in the team, even though he only performs in moments. The wingers have had good spells in the team. You know, there's been good rotation at times, and Enzo Maresca has also failed with his rotation at times, which has been seen more so over the recent passage of games. We had a good spell from November to December. Southampton swept away, Leicester beaten, Brentford came and we beat them, Aston Villa. Our confidence just went up. Cole Palmer was doing what he does best, who has been a great player for Chelsea this season and has continued from where he left off last season. But it just hurts me to say that if he's not confident on the ball or playing on the ball, who else do we look at? As Felix doesn't get the minutes which I feel he deserves, and Enzo Maresca still hasn't found a way to play them together in Chelsea's attack. I feel for Felix, I feel for Nkunku. More so Felix, as we know, he's the man who can produce if Cole Palmer isn't, and can grab the game by the scruff of its neck with driving up with the ball and producing that skill which we love to see. In games when we're not able to get that second goal, as you saw against Bournemouth, against Palace, against Fulham, changes needed to be made sooner. And cannot be waited until the 80th minute. There's no point in giving Felix 10 minutes to play, or Nkunku, or the winger who gets rotated between Madueke, Neto and Sancho, which I feel has been Enzo Maresca's downfall recently, which was a major plus earlier in the season. Then again, these things happen. Chelsea still have a young team, and honestly, when you look at it, they're where they should be right now. Performing well in the Conference League as expected, with our bomb squad producing goals, came in, came out. Gui getting on the score sheet, Nkunku producing goals, Felix having great performances, Drewsbury Hall coming into the team doing well, Casaday holding his own, whilst Tosin also does his part, and Renato Vega, who now may be leaving, which is a shame to see. But Conference League rotation from the bomb squad, we've done well. But now we want to see what we can produce in the league. We need Chelsea to finish in the top 4. We need us to finish in the top 4 and then grow from strength to strength next season and get closer to the leaders, with me feeling that 2026-2027 is the season where Chelsea can challenge for the title. Provided that a better goalkeeper is signed, which in my opinion, I feel like Magic Mike in Mike Magnan will be the man, and the striker being signed, whether it's Gyökeres or Victor Osimhen coming to the team. The wingers that we have should be kept. Neto should be given more game time, and Sancho should grow into the role in being more decisive, and who I feel should produce more goals. Look, Palmer, there isn't much to say about him, whilst the midfield age is quite great in Chelsea's team. Andre Santos still only 20 and will be 21. Caicedo's under 25, Lavia's under 25, and so is Enzo Fernandez. So we are a youthful team. The way Chelsea has been this season, I compare it to Arsenal in the 2021-2022 season, where they finished 5th. And then the season after, you've just been able to see what Arsenal's able to produce. I feel like the same can happen for Chelsea, but with the only difference being Chelsea finishing in the top 4 and then going on to do better next season. I'd love to see us finish with the cup. Having a trophy come back to Stamford Bridge would be great, as it would be the first one under the new ownership. And I'm not a fan who's familiar with Chelsea not winning trophies, so that is needed. If it's the Conference League, it's the Conference League. I would also like to see Chelsea going deeper in the FA Cup, with it not affecting us in the league. Then again, we've had this spell of fixtures. We've gone down to Man City, and now we have to face what's left in front of us, with West Ham being on the horizon, and then 2 encounters against Brighton in the FA Cup as well as in the league. So my ballers, that's where I ended today in speaking about the team I love and the team I support, being the pride of London in Chelsea. I hope you've enjoyed this match day. Continue to like, comment and subscribe. And until next time, live long.